Today, we are going to embark on a mind-blowing expedition through the universe of opinions. We'll explore just how marvelously unique and original our perspectives really are, and we'll uncover the sheer brilliance of how everyone miraculously arrives at the same unique conclusions. Regardless of what we believe about the uniqueness of our thoughts, the reality is, the majority, if not all opinions, are not truly original. Amidst the illusion of independent thinking, internal and external influences, societal pressures, and subtle manipulations intricately mold and shape the perspectives people have. In this video, I'm going to explain some of the intricate internal forces that drive conformity and explore why we so often align our beliefs with prevailing norms. Humans possess an almost pathological desire to be seen, heard, and acknowledged by our fellow man, even if it means sacrificing our own individuality and dignity in the process. People naturally conform to prevailing social norms not out of a deep belief in those values, but rather to seek approval and validation from their chosen community or social circle. Humans are more concerned with fitting into a particular group or gaining approval than with truth or intellectual integrity. The desire for acceptance overshadows the pursuit of objective or factual accuracy in one's beliefs and opinions. People are more interested in expressing opinions or engaging in behavior that aligns with what they perceive to be the expectations of their community, all in an effort to showcase their moral and ethical values or social consciousness. They seek positive social validation and bonding from their peers, rather than engaging in a genuine expression of their personal values. The prioritization of social acceptance over objective truth and facts can be understood through the lens of the adaptive advantages conferred by group living and cooperation. Although the contexts are vastly different, modern social groups and communities, whether online or in real life, have fundamentally the same social dynamics of ancient hunter-gatherer groups. In hunter-gatherer societies, conformity to group opinions was critical for survival. Shared beliefs were essential for the collective well-being of the group. Conforming to the norms and values of the tribe ensured a cohesive community that could effectively tackle challenges, allocate resources, and defend against external threats. Individuals who diverged too much from the group's opinions risked isolation, which could have severe consequences for survival. Strategic signaling of alignment with group values may have been a crucial survival strategy in the past, but the dynamics of human societies have significantly changed since then, rendering these patterns and processes basically useless in the contemporary context. The evolution of societal structures, advancements in technology, and changes in economic and cultural paradigms have fundamentally altered the role of traditional social groups. Modern infrastructure and systems enable individuals to independently access resources such as food, shelter, and healthcare. Modern legal frameworks provide individuals with rights, protections, and access to legal recourse independently. The communal defense mechanisms required for survival in ancient times have been replaced by individual legal rights. Modern conveniences and amenities allow individuals to be self-sufficient in daily living. The reliance on communal efforts for tasks like food production or building shelters has been replaced by personal or market-driven solutions. Individuals now have the autonomy, resources, and opportunities to lead independent lives beyond the confines of traditional communal structures. In-group bias is a natural phenomenon that arises from the human brain's tendency to categorize and process information efficiently. This cognitive process allows us to make rapid judgments about people and situations based on minimal information. However, it leads to the development of biases and stereotypes that favor members of our own group over members of other groups, creating a foundation for in-group bias. In-group bias emerged as a means of promoting cooperation and resource allocation within ancestral human groups. By favoring members of our own group, we can increase the likelihood of obtaining valuable resources, protection, and support from others within our group, enhancing our overall fitness and survival prospects. In this way, in-group bias can be viewed as an adaptive mechanism that has been selected for over generations, providing a selective advantage to individuals who engage in this behavior. In our ancestral environments, neurobiological reward systems were adaptive mechanisms that encouraged behaviors essential for group cohesion and collective survival. In the absence of immediate survival challenges, seeking validation has shifted towards fulfilling personal, emotional, and psychological needs. Despite significant changes in societal structures, human brains are still wired to seek social validation and belonging. The same neural mechanisms that once drove individuals to conform to tribal norms now motivate people to align their thoughts and behaviors with the expectations of their modern social circles. By seeking positive social validation and conforming, individuals can maintain their identities within these groups. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers in the brain that play a crucial role in transmitting signals between nerve cells or neurons. These signaling molecules facilitate communication within the nervous system and are integral to various physiological and psychological processes. Two neurotransmitters particularly relevant to the context of gaining approval and validation from peers are dopamine and oxytocin. Often referred to as the bonding hormone, oxytocin is released in response to positive social interactions and contributes to the formation and reinforcement of social bonds. Oxytocin is associated with a sense of belonging. When individuals experience social validation, it strengthens their perception of being accepted and valued within their social group. Dopamine is associated with the brain's reward and pleasure pathways. It plays a key role in reinforcing behaviors that lead to reward, motivation, and positive reinforcement. When individuals receive positive feedback, approval, or validation from peers, the brain releases dopamine, contributing to a sense of accomplishment and pleasure. This release reinforces the perception that the individual has engaged in a behavior perceived as positive or socially desirable, even in the absence of a real tangible or significant action. The simultaneous release of dopamine and oxytocin creates a neurobiological reinforcement loop. Positive social interactions trigger the release of both neurotransmitters, reinforcing the link between seeking social validation, conforming to group expectations, and the pleasurable sensations associated with these chemical responses. It is worth noting that the feelings associated with these chemicals are inherently transient. Like most drugs, they offer a momentary sense of gratification, but this satisfaction is short-lived. The fleeting nature of external validation means that individuals must continually seek it, creating a perpetual cycle of seeking approval without ever achieving lasting fulfillment. As individuals repeatedly experience the neurobiological rewards linked to social validation, unconsciously their identity becomes intertwined with the identity of the social group. The desire for acceptance, driven by the neurobiological reinforcement, contributes to the formation of a collective identity within the group. Individuals begin to associate their sense of self-worth and well-being with their belongingness to the social group, reinforcing the importance of aligning with group expectations. This alignment not only ensures continued acceptance, but also reinforces the shared values that contribute to the group's overall identity. The collective identity within the group is not only reinforced by individual actions, but also by the reciprocal influence of group dynamics. The shared neurobiological experiences create a mutual reinforcement loop where individuals in the group collectively shape and validate each other's identity. This collectively influences the decision-making processes within the group. The fear of dissenting and facing potential exclusion motivates individuals to prioritize decisions that resonate with the dominant group identity, even when decisions are irrational or incorrect. Group members engage in rationalizing decisions, downplaying or dismissing warnings or alternative viewpoints to maintain the perceived wisdom of the chosen course of action. This hinders objective evaluation and leads to a failure to address potential flaws or shortcomings in the decision-making process. These modern social groups or communities are considered a contemporary manifestation of our ancestral communities. The social dynamics and decision-making processes seen in modern communities are deeply ingrained biological and instinctive drives and mirror the fundamental behaviors that were once crucial for survival. Our identities are constructed through the interactions and relationships we have with others. We internalize the values, norms, and expectations of our social groups. As a result, our sense of self becomes intertwined with the collective, making it difficult to distinguish where the group ends and the individual begins. The currents of conformity often flow beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, shaping our actions and beliefs in ways we don't realize. We often find ourselves passionately committing to causes we may not really know anything about. We engage in heated debates, arguments, or disputes, advocating for principles, doctrines, or political ideologies that we may only have a cursory and superficial understanding of, and we stake personal well-being and dignity on matters that are far more complex than we realize. If we step back from the person we identify with and want to see ourselves as, and take an honest assessment of how and why we came to our decisions and opinions about things, would we still believe them? The truth is, the majority of the population lack the capacity for the kind of honest, rational self-reflection that challenges established personal beliefs and values, and they are simply doomed to a life of mediocrity and conformity. As we come to a close of this episode, let's not forget, in the symphony of nature, every creature plays a unique note, contributing to the harmonious melody of existence. Picture the world as a majestic orchestra, where each being, like a musical note, adds to the beauty of the Earth's composition. Embrace your role in this cosmic symphony, and let your distinct note resonate with the rhythm of nature. Let's not get carried away with visions of grand reforms or revolutionary changes. Entrenched cultural norms and insurmountable institutional systems stand against us, blocking the path toward a society that genuinely values individuality and creativity. The people who do dare to challenge the systems find themselves facing either tidal waves of resistance or subtle diversions that unconsciously steer them back into the path of submission.